All right, welcome back. Today, we're jumping into chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita, and it tackles a huge central question in yogic philosophy: action versus renunciation. I mean, how are you supposed to find peace in this totally chaotic world? Do you engage with it, or do you have to retreat from it? The entire chapter really hangs on our hero, Arjuna, demanding just one single, clear answer to that very question.
So the chapter kicks off, and our guy, Arjuna, is completely confused. He turns to his guide, Krishna, and he asks something that, let's be honest, we've all probably wondered about at some point. Is it better to get involved, to act in the world, or should we just step back from it all to find real peace? Action or renunciation? And he's not looking for a long philosophical debate. He wants one clear answer. Just tell me which one is better.
Okay, so let's really dig into this central conflict, because Krishna's answer, well, it's probably not what you're expecting.
And here it is. Krishna's answer comes right away in verse 5.2, and it's a total curveball. He says, look, both paths, renunciation and action, they're both good. They both lead to the highest good. But, and this is the crucial part, he says that performing your duties in the world, what he calls karma yoga, is actually superior. It's better than just renouncing everything and walking away.
Now, this raises a massive question, right? How can acting in the world possibly be a form of renunciation? I mean, that sounds like a complete contradiction. The answer, and this is the core of the chapter, is all about redefining what it really truly means to renounce something.
So here we can see the two paths that Arjuna is struggling with. On one hand, you have what's called karma sannyasa, basically renouncing all your actions, just dropping everything. A lot of people thought this was the most direct way to enlightenment, a total retreat from life. But on the other hand, you've got karma yoga. This is about being fully engaged, doing your duties, but, and here's the key, without getting attached to the results. Krishna isn't just saying he likes this one more. He's making it clear that it's the superior path. He even argues that trying to renounce everything is incredibly difficult, almost impossible, unless you've first mastered this idea of selfless action.
So here's the whole point, the big takeaway. A true renunciate, what the Gita calls an eternal monk, isn't defined by what they're doing on the outside. It's all about their inner state. It's not about stopping all activity. It's about freeing yourself from that constant push and pull of, I want this and I hate that. Desire and aversion. If you can get beyond those dualities, you're already liberated. It's a state of mind.
And this is what that mindset looks like in action. Verses 8 and 9 list all these super normal everyday things: seeing, hearing, touching, eating, walking, even breathing and speaking. The yogi is doing all of this stuff, just like us. But inside, there's been this profound shift. They understand that it's just their senses interacting with the world. Their real self, their true identity, isn't the one doing the action. It's the one watching it happen. And from that perspective, from that deep place, they can honestly say, I am doing absolutely nothing.
And this brings us to probably the most beautiful and powerful metaphor in the whole chapter. The idea is that when you offer up your actions to a higher purpose, when you let go of your attachment to the results, you can move through all the messiness and chaos of life and not get stained by it. You become just like a lotus leaf. It sits on the water, but the water just rolls right off. It never gets wet.
So why bother doing all this? What's the actual point? Well, verse 11 makes it super clear. The goal isn't to get rich or famous or to win at life. Nope, yogis perform actions with their body, their mind, their intellect for one single reason: self-purification. It's about cleaning up your own inner world.
Okay, so what's the payoff here? What does it actually feel like to live this way, with that kind of purified mind? Well, verse 12 lays out a really sharp contrast. It's like two totally different ways of living. On one side, you have the yogi. They let go of the results, the fruits of their work, and what do they get? Permanent peace. On the other side, you have the person who is attached, who is constantly worried about, did I win? Did I lose? Did I get what I wanted? They are completely bound up by their own desires, and that just leads to a life of anxiety. And that inner peace leads to something even bigger, something really profound, a radical sense of equality. The wise person starts to see with what's called equal vision. They look at a learned and humble scholar, a person of great wisdom. And then they look at a cow, or an elephant, or even a dog. And even an outcast, someone on the very margins of society, and they see the exact same essential self in all of them. To the wise, the outside packaging, whether you're a scholar or a dog, is just a costume. The inner reality is one and the same. It's an incredible idea, and it's all there in verse 18. So how much attachment does a person like this have to all the stuff in the external world? The answer is 0. Absolutely none. Verse 21 explains that a person who is free from illusion has 0 attachment to external pleasures. And why is that? It's simple, because they've tapped into a source of happiness inside themselves that never runs out. They just don't need to look for it outside anymore.
Okay, so as we get to the end of the chapter, it really beautifully wraps all of this up. It describes this ultimate state of liberation and basically gives us a checklist for who gets there.
So, who are these liberated people? Well, verses 23 to 26 paint a really clear picture. They're the ones who are happy and delighted within themselves. They're the ones who can handle the powerful forces of lust and anger without getting swept away. They are free from doubt. Their minds are under control, and this is so important, they are actively engaged in the welfare of all living beings. It's not just about you. It's this perfect blend of mastering your inner world while showing compassion to the outer world. And the whole chapter wraps up with this one incredible verse. It says that true peace comes from one understanding, knowing that there is a great, benevolent force that is the ultimate receiver of all your efforts, a force that is the friend and well-wisher of every single living being. When you get that, when you really understand that, that's when you find peace. And that's really the heart of Chapter 5. This isn't just some abstract, ancient philosophy. It's an incredibly practical guide for living today. The whole point is, you don't have to run away to a cave in the mountains. You can practice this right now, in your job, with your family, and the smallest, most mundane actions of your day. So it leaves us with a question, really. A question for you. In which of your daily actions could you try practicing just letting go of the result? Where are you going to start?